welcome. And I see 19 of us are here today. It is really sweet that you've all tried to invest your time for today. Myself, I'm Didipya Korukonda, in here today to give you some insights that I grabbed from the internet and from other sources with regard to GSOC. So, uh, heads up before we start, I would like to clear one thing. I have no experience with GSOC prior. So it's only after Prasida posted it in the group that I started learning about GSOC. Am I not audible?
Yeah, now you're audible, Devika.
Okay, I received a text that I'm not. That's why. Okay. So, yes, it is only after Prasida put it in the group that I've understood what GSOC was like. I started exploring it myself, and I realized that it is something really cool and awesome that all of us should be a part of. So I would like to share my screen and maybe we'll have a little discussion about what GSOC is. It is something I had no idea prior to this. So I started learning from maybe a couple days ago, and I'm going to teach you whatever it is that I've learned. So any and everything that I am telling is quite the summary of whatever 10 to 20 YouTube videos that I've been through and all of the blogs that I've read. So let me share my screen and please let me know if you can see my screen. Is my PPT visible?
Yeah,
Okay,
you're
cool. So I don't want to bore you people with a lot of questions. Instead, maybe we can talk and discuss. Anyone with any idea what Google Summer of Code is? You can post it in the chat box. There are only 20 of us, so you need not be embarrassed. Okay, someone said, yeah, yes. What is that yeah and yes for? Contribute to open source. Yes, Gautami, that is good. Maybe the yeah and yes answers, maybe you can put in what it is. Please feel free to turn on your mics if at all you have to say something. Yes, it is basically about open source contribution. Chandrika, that is good. Uh, Anything else? Like, what do you think you get out of this GSOC? GSOC. Yeah. So pretty much I've got some answers, and yes, all of them are correct. So anyone who knows what open source is, or anybody who has already worked with open source projects, software coding projects, learning from great mentors, yes, all of them are correct. Anyone who can define what open source is, had any hands-on experience with open sourcing? You're all free to unmute your mics if at all needed. And don't worry, the session won't last till 8 o'clock. It is just the cross time period we have. We can wrap it up as soon as we're done. I don't see much answers with what open source is. So yes, we can start a discussion from there itself. If at all somebody texted, somebody who had seen the text and is ready to, unmute yourself, then you can tell me that somebody texted and what answer has been texted. So let me share my screen so that we can learn about what open source is. Yeah. So starting with GSOC is the short form of what Google Summer of Code is. So if at all you're in your third year or fourth year, then you probably have heard about GSOC because on several LinkedIn posts during the months of November and October, November, you see most people saying that, yes, I have become a GSOC member. I've earned a stipend this high and I feel happy about it. So, kind of you're wrapped around Google, GSOC, and all of these things, and your LinkedIn field would definitely buzz around. So, yes, as most people have said, it is about open source, but I did not find much definitions about what open source is in the chat box. So, yes, basically, open source is you write some code with regard to a use case or a problem statement that you have discovered or have found, and writing what your solution is. You just code it up online and put it as a resource available to everybody. So any and everyone can feel free to come modify your code, as it is said that you come study, change, and improve and distribute the software. So what happens when your project is open source? If you observe, we have operating systems like Linux and everything. So these are open source projects, and Python is an open source programming languages. It is via open sourcing that you get to promote collaboration, Collaboration, not necessarily that you go meet a bunch of people, but you get to understand bunch of perceptions, the way you analyze your problems, the way you get to work on a problem. All of these, when a group of people are working, they bring a huge impact to the table. And that is all about open sourcing. So yes, if you are becoming an open source project developer, then you are among the community of dedicated developers. Best example for your open source projects is, I'm sure if you're in your third year, recently you all got started with DevOps, and if you're in your second year, maybe most of you heard about GitHub and everything. So when you put your project public under the tag public inside your GitHub, so this is where your project is open to everybody. So if at all somebody read your README file inside your GitHub and found that, yes, maybe this is some project or some use case that I find interesting. Maybe this is something I thought I would work on in the past year. So you find this relatability. And once you find the relatability, what happens is you try to contribute. So you have a perception to the very same problem that is different from what the existing developers on the project are having. So now your perception could be added into the existing project. You go ask them for permission, you fork their code, and you ask them that maybe I can tag along the codes I've worked on with. Then a contribution happens, and collaboratively you develop a better project. So this is what open sourcing is all about. Any questions or doubts with regard to open source so far? Am I too fast, too slow? Please feel free to text or drop a message. Yes, Gautami, that is an aspect of yes. Okay, I hear somebody saying all clear. I'll proceed with the answer. Okay, so that is what open sourcing is all about. So next, coming to what is GSOC, like Google Summer of Code. I promise that I'll come up with answers to what GSOC is all about. So yes, so in GSOC, what happens is annually, Google will ask some companies which are open sourcing their codes to come together. Maybe they can share what their codes are. They can share their open source project ideas with us, so that these people, they are the organizations that collaborating with Google are being provided to us, we developers, the contributors, the students. They come to us hoping to find a better solution or a better add-on to their existing projects. So the idea is simple. So in GSOC, you are tend to meet like-minded people. Why you go for hackathons? That is because that is the atmosphere you want to live in. You want to go problem solve and code it up. So that kind of environment and the real-time environment, how it actually happens in the industry. So how is it happening right where the software techies are working today? All of these kind of projects are what GSOC brings to you. The open sourcing organizations are not anybody that have an open source code available. Most likely people with experienced open source codings out there, like companies which are open sourced for quite some time today, they are brought in. We have statistics that we'll discuss later on, like how many companies have come forward in the, how many organizations have come forward in the past years and everything. So basically, these organizations come forward, and Google, from all of the organizations that have enrolled themselves to become a part of GSOC, it will again start to pick and choose the best ones, so that we students and contributors don't get to work on anything that is just available, but we work on what is really worth it, or what really is something that is hoping to make worth a difference. So when we come together, we'll work together on the very same project, and it'll last for quite a span of time, like about 12 weeks or so. And together we'll build our contribution, or we'll add a contribution into the existing projects. So towards the end of the program, you are building a code that everybody in the world, like literally any and everybody who has an account online, can go through your code. So that is what GSOC is all about. Maybe I'll share the slides to you so you people can refer to it later on. So let me go through a little about GSOC, and then we'll come to the questions and doubts part. So as said, GSOC focuses on bringing contributors. Contributors is us, who are willing to contribute their ideas and their perspective into the existing problems. and all of this happens in an open source environment. So you could summarize it to be an open source software development. The program is for students and beginners aged 18 plus. Hold on, if you are a second year student and are somebody who is aged less, then please do not run away, because I have something awesome that Microsoft is getting for you people. Which, because Microsoft is not our subject of discussion as of today, I'll announce it towards the end. Like the last 5 minutes, we can dedicate it to that. And anybody that is 18 plus, you are thoroughly welcome. And people like juniors, don't run away, because listen to what I have to say for the next couple of minutes. Train yourself, because this entire program today is about how we tune ourselves for the upcoming challenge. So we students, like the third years, we had just got exposed to GSOC lately. So there's less amounts of exposure. So I don't want that to happen with your case. So learn from today itself to what it is, so that you will be well prepared. Next, so what kind of projects are we working on? Two category of projects. One, I do have my notes ready so that I don't make a mistake. So let me refer to it. So one is the medium-sized projects, and the second one is the large-scale projects. So the difference between the two is that in a medium-sized project, you are expected to invest at least 175 hours. And in a large-scale project, you're expected to invest about 350 hours. Prasida, would you like to say something?
No, Devika.
Okay, thanks. So you have about 350 hours that you would be contributing. So how do you choose which kind of project that you get into is entirely your choice. But I have a few suggestions based on whatever knowledge I have gained from my YouTube search and blog readings. So basically, if you are in your third year and you think you have ample amounts of time, and if you are in your second year and about 18 years old, you think you have ample amounts of time, and you are well aware with the problem statement that the company has open sourced its code with, then go with the 350 hours. But if that's not the case, you have limited amounts of time, you still have your semester exams and your assignments to tackle with all of the college stuff and everything going around, or your internship on the other side, then choose the 175-hour program. You have ample amounts of time to work, because there is 12 week, like 12 entire weeks, all you do is simply code up. So later you can extend, like this extension, it comes up later on. So we cannot guarantee ourselves that, yes, I'll go work for 22 weeks. This is upon the approval of your mentor, that yes, this particular person is a very good contributor to the project. Maybe we can have her for a couple more weeks or for quite some time, so that we can make even better advancement in the code. So at that point of time, you will be increase your tenure for about 10 more weeks. So it will level up to 22 weeks. Later, you're provided with guidance. So two types of guidance could be provided. One is a guaranteed one. This comes up from Google itself. So the Google the Google employees, they themselves come up to mentor you. And the second one, if at all the project that you're working on, like the company finds you really enthralling and really the kind of the person that they need on the project to work on, and they find that you would be the best source for them to improve upon their existing open source project, then you will sometimes be provided with a company mentor too. So I can guarantee that we'll be having one mentor if so we get through the entire process. And the second one, like it is something that you have to grab on for yourself. For the first thing and for everything that you have to get through to GSOC, I'll be here, and my CP team like Soumya, Navya, Navachandrika, all of us, we're all going to be there, even Vaishnavi too, the new add-on. So we'll all be there for you to go up until there. But what happens later on, it is entirely dependent on you. So yes, the goals of the program are simple. So you will all be introduced into the open source development, and if at all you just recall a little bit towards the back, had it been you have worked on projects with your friends and put them online on GitHub, or maybe you made use of Python, and all we made use of till today with regard to Python is making the use of the existing libraries, getting the code wrapped up from somewhere online. But if at all you made a contribution, you're already an open source contributor, and we get exposed to what real world problems are, or what real world software development scenarios are. This is like the environment you get after you get into your job. But with GSOC, you will have it right away. And well, towards the end, you will be an open source contributor and you will create a code that one day all of us will be using. So yes, before we go how GSOC works, any questions, doubts, or is the pace okay? Please feel free to unmute your mic if you have anything to say, else I'll continue. If no questions, you can put an N. You don't really have to type the entire thing either. And if nobody is texting it, yes, you should register. We'll come to that part soon. Like, how do we get into it and everything like that. In just about the next one. Okay, I hear it is pretty clear now. Any more questions? That's good. So moving on to what happens, like how GSOC actually works and where do we get to register and everything. The answer to Nandini's question, yes. So let me move to the next slide. Yeah. So how GSOC actually works. So it is quite like the summary of whatever it is that I've been selling so far. So you have open source projects ready. There will be people like mentoring organizations and everybody ready. And as still in 2022, 198 organizations have participated. Like, just remember, any organization that is coming in is an opportunity. And it's not like you have a use case that is relevant to, that kind of problem solving ability that you have and that you wish to work on, the kind of problems, not every 198 companies are going to give you. But of these, I assure that at least there will be 20 companies with the same tech stack that you are aware of. They'll be working on the very same tech stack. And there will be, maybe after jotting down like what you are familiar with and everything, maybe you can reduce it to 10 companies that are working with the very same problem statement that maybe you have worked on previously and everything. So you get a lot of exposure. There is a lot for you to pick and choose from. Just finding out those particular three problems or three proposals for which you're going to make in future, you have to search for an entire bag of 198 organizations. So it is 198 different projects. Later, you as contributors will submit your proposals to the mentor organizations. So initially, you have your mentor organizations ready. They'll give you the projects that they're open sourcing with, and you only get to add what your proposals are. Maximum you can add 3 proposals. So of 198 companies, let us say we've got 100 companies for 2023, but I'm hoping there will be more number of companies than 2022 this year. So of 100 companies, you get 100 different problems. From all of these problems, you go pick and choose only 3. Only 3 is because that is the restricted number. You go find the project that you are interested in and you give a proposal, like the solution that you are wanting to give. We'll go through how all of it is done soon. And then it's not like it's all done out there, but after your proposals are sent to the mentor organization, they'll do a thorough review, because all of us are going to send our proposals, and I'm sure everybody in the meet are going to send a lot of proposals soon. So mentor organizations take some time and they'll review each of our proposals, and they'll accept the ones that they find are compatible to the solution that they're working with currently. Later will be paired up with a mentor and to an organization, and our coding period begins, after which our result product is something that in future all of us will be using. Later, some frequently asked questions. I think we've discussed like how much time do we have to spend. The one thing that based on my personal experience, I'm saying is that the amounts of time you spend is always dependent on the work that you are accustomed to. So if you're already good with the tech stack, then even investing about an hour, you can finish off a work that you usually would have done in the beginning of your journey for 5 hours, maybe. So in the beginning of your coding journey, you have worked upon a problem for 5 hours. Maybe you can work it to 1 hour soon. So the amounts of hours that you invest is entirely dependent on the schedule that you'll be having in future. And you can participate if you're 18 plus, and if you're not, we have something that Microsoft is offering for you that you will get to know towards the end of the session. And later, yeah, if at all anybody is trying to be a mentor from the session soon, then session today, then please let us know, because we would definitely want to work under you. And if at all you have to be a mentor, you should have already contributed to 6 to 8 open source projects, as of what I remember people saying. So yes, but I think most of us are students in the session today, so we will become what are called as contributors to the codes. So evaluations, there are two phases of evaluation, phase one and phase two. After your phase one evaluation, there is a chance that you might be dropped out of the work, because once you're taken in, you will be given a grant using which you will be working on your project. So nobody wants to waste their grant on something that is not being progressive. So yes, you gotta work on your project once you're given it, and anyone that has passed on, you will be getting a stipend. So yes, you're not working for free. Your time is very much well invested, both economically and with regard to the knowledge that you gain. So yes, as a conclusion, they say you will get to submit your code and everybody is going to use it later. So finally revising or revisiting the eligibility criteria, be 18 years upon registration of the program. So if at all, it's like maybe today is the last day for registration and tomorrow I'll turn 18. So do I apply? No, you cannot apply that. So maybe it will be falsed out with regard to your eligibility out there. And you can be a beginner, like maybe an employee, like this year, that is the best part. Even an employee can get to work with this. So yes, if you are a beginner, that is all right. If you're a student, yes, you're pretty much welcome to be a contributor. And most of us, I guess, are Indians in the room today. So we have eligibility of work in our country. So that rules out the fourth point too, not a resident of US embarked country. And yes, you should not previously be accepted into GSOC. If at all somebody in the room today are previously accepted, then just go and give us your name in the chat box so that you can be the one talking today, because we're really in need of expertise or experts that have already got the experience with regard to GSOC. So that with the eligibility criteria, this is the program timeline. But before we go through the timeline, which is where we'll discuss about the application process and everything, do any one of you have any questions? Is the pace okay? Any doubts? Please feel free to ask. Okay, can you share the recording link later? Okay, they will definitely share you that. Yes. Any questions? Any doubts? If it's a no, put an N. If it's a yes, you can type out your doubt or simply unmute and ask. It's pretty clear. That is good. I'm going with the first answer I see. Okay, if at all somebody finds it out, just unmute. Okay, somebody else also answered that it is clear. Fine, thank you. So moving ahead, the timeline. I know this is where everybody would be like, why did the session start so soon? It starts on January 23, 2023. And I know it is 8th of December 2022 today. So why did our GVSC team decide to start it early, like this early? But heads up, we are not the ones that have been earliest. I have seen people who have introduced all about GSOC in their community groups like a couple weeks ago. Like everybody is far ahead of us. But why start this early with regard to us? So I would like to tell you a lot of things. Like this is where the advising part comes. So please don't feel bored. If at all you're finding it boring, just tell me so that I'll cut short and we can move further. So the application of organizations open at Jan 23rd and it lasts up until 7. So once the organization applications come up, all you find is what the you're not given the description about the organization or anything up until then, but it is quite like the organizations that are wanting to be part of Google GSOC. They are the ones that get to work in here. All this time you have nothing to work, so I would suggest you all to go through what GSOC 2022 problem statements were like, so that you'll get an understanding on how it all works. Later on February 22nd of 2023, the accepted organizations are announced. This is where you have to step in. Right on 2022 February, if at all it is possible, I definitely come up, like our team will definitely come up taking a session that day. So this is where we'll see what all organizations have become part of GSOC. And once the organizations are part of GSOC, all you see is the name of the organization, the kind of tech stack that they are working on, and the topics, the kind of genre or the genres that they are working on. So now I'll show you how it looks like. And later, from 20 March to April 4th, GSOC contributor can support the proposals. In the meantime, it's not like you just go see what organization you are interested in, but you have to work on. So this is where the part of you communicating and interconnecting or networking begins, because most of us are really shy to come up to talk, but this should not be the case right here, because I really think that when you have a personal interaction with the person that is actually working on the project, you get more insights on how you're supposed to think. Say I've chosen a problem statement number 28, but there won't be a problem statement, there will be a company name out there. So say I've chosen a problem statement, and I've decided this is the company I want to work with because they have the tech stack that I'm already aware of. There are only a couple of things that I still have to get acquainted with from the tech stack that I've provided. And the topics are pretty clear. Yes, I am interested in data science. Yes, it is a data project. Yes, I'm already aware of web development. It's web. So you see all of it, but that should not be it. After you see that, go find out, try communicating with the company employees, with your mentors. By that time, maybe you're not given a specific mentor, but you will be provided with the company's email, and there will be a small chat thing open. So you go and start talking to people out there. You send them the drafts of your proposals, like this is what I'm thinking, and maybe this is how I want to work all along the project. So give them your insights. Before March 20, you should do that, because from March 20, what you do is you submit the actual proposals. So you don't want any mishaps to go on out there. And later on May 4th, the contributors are announced. So that is where your results come. So what all proposals you have done, are they relevant to what it is that they're expecting? So just to make sure we do not fail this part, I'm suggesting us that we will be going prior to the submission phase, and we'll go talk to the employee that is actually working and get a rapport built up so that we understand the project better. And that being aside, later on you'll start coding, and GSOC contributors of the summer, they're all ready, they contribute, they'll go work on their projects. In between there is a community bonding period, so it is always important that you learn what your team is and what team you're working with. Finally, you get to submit your project. And once you do it right, well, we'll all be using your codes. I know I'm stating it for a lot of times now, but it's really good to have that, that kind of feeling that you have that everybody is making use of a product you have made. That is quite awesome, I guess. So I wish most of us would be contributors towards the end. Well, any doubts with regard to the timeline? Any doubts, questions? Clear? Okay, it's clear for the previous one. Any doubts or questions, anybody? I hope not, because none of you are responding. I hope everybody is awake and I did not bore anybody so far. Let me wrap it up soon. So yes, going on with the statistics. Earlier, we had about 19,000 participants, which means like 19,000 like-minded people, 19,000 people ready to solve problems in front of you, and about 18,000 mentors, which means, you got everything set, like your 4 pillars, so that you think and work right. They're all set straight. And about 800 plus open sourcing mentoring organizations. So around 800 plus organizations have come forward to share their open sourcing code, and 42 million lines of code. Don't be scared with the number, because yes, 19,000 plus people have contributed. So you should find the number to be interesting. Later on, the useful links, and these are where I will share this PPT and the recording soon. So please go through the program site. Let me go to the program site. So yep. Yes. So yes, officially 2023 program is announced. If at all you open in here, you find, like, to the top right, you find my email ID logged in. What I would suggest is everybody go after the session is done, find the first link and join in, sign in with your email ID. So in future, any and everything that you require, it will be given to you right away. And when you come inside help and move to the GSOC discussion list, you find the announcements, and this is quite like mails, as of what I remember. So yes, you get to go see what the latest talks are about this. All you have to do is fill a form to attend. So yes, you get to hear it from the actual experts, not somebody like me. So, and there is a contributor and a mentor guide, which is very helpful for us to go through. And especially please go through the student guide, because this is what we are, like, we students, how are we supposed to contribute? like what is the best way that we solve a problem, best approach, like how do we approach the developers and everything. You have it all available online, so just go through it. And that is what the second link is all about. And there is an open source blog, so if at all you're bored and are scared and are not understanding, just go through the blog, because there are a lot of people that contribute to blogs, and you really understand like what is the euphoria all about. And again, coming back to home, I would like you all to go through what 2022 GSOC looked like. So this is the 2022 project list. Let me open that. So it's opening. And yes, you have a lot of organizations. You can maybe click here to view the organizations that are available. Okay, let me go click. So yes, the things you're seeing, all data, development tools, and user applications, these are quite like the genres that you can get to work with. When I say data, it opens up data science related projects out here. Any and everything that you're seeing in here is a contributor. And maybe I'd say I'm interested in web. I go to web and I see a lot. So yes, PostgreSQL. Like one thing is that you get to work with the companies whose tools and whose products you're using today at your home. So there's Django. I remember most of my friends are Django developers. We make use of PostgreSQL in the backend. I don't even know what the other companies do. So yes, there are numerous companies for you to go pick and choose from. No, you want to go search for an organization. Let us say I go for a pack. Uh, so I click, and once you click, you get to know what the organization is. When I said in the timeline phase, maybe I'll go here. Here, initially, organization applications open and accepted organizations are announced. The moment this is done, all you see is only up until here. The screen you're seeing before up until the one that I've highlighted, this is what you get to see. The name of the company, the kind of technology that they're making use of, and the topics. So, APAC is related to big data, cloud, libraries, and others. Besides this, you get to see nothing more except the organization's official website. And these come up after they are released out, like after the after the organizations are announced, you get this. And once contributor proposals begin, you get the contributor guidance. This is utmost important thing before you submit your proposal, because you understood that yes, APAC is the company I want to work with. You went into the company, you have seen the tech stacks, you've understood it, like you're already good at it. All you have to do is develop your skills a little more, and the topics are like really something that you're into. So that is where you get to the contributor guidance. So go through this, understand, like see, they again come up with what GSOC is, who's eligible, and what is the advice. This is where it all begins. So advice, there is a video presentation, you go through all of it, and you will also be given a template. Yes, so this is the template. Soon we will get to discuss how a template is to be made and everything, and the kind of work that you will be doing, and what are the results they're expecting, how is the scheduling, and how will the community engagement be. Any and everything that you need is present in here. So there is also application process. Again, all of this is kind of like a repetition. You can find it in any and every company that you see inside. And this is another important thing. If you observe towards your right in between, there is chat and mailing list available. So go through the mailing list. So you find this, you basically follow the instructions, and all you do is mail your organization, and you go chat with your organizations to discuss about this is what I am hoping to propose. And currently the pace is not fun because we're trying to reach out to people in 2022, but we are looking forward for 2023. So yes, but via these chat and mailing forums, you get to talk to the organization itself. So you can go to them and ask about queries regarding the project, give them a draft of how your proposal is, so that they can come help you reach out. And one more important thing is, please don't feel shy to talk to people on LinkedIn. Go, if at all you find like somebody working within the same project, and you see that 2022 GSOC members who did not maybe succeed up until the end, but have started and stopped working in between on the project that you found to be interesting this time, go talk to them, ask them for advice, and get to know what the project really is from within, so that you will have a better perspective to design your proposal. And once it all works out, then you are a GSOC member. So yes, you will become a contributor towards the end. So these are the useful links, and there is contact support if at all you have any problem that nobody from among the community is able to answer. Just go ask GSOC itself. So any questions or doubts? I'm done with my part. That's why. Any questions up until the end, then you can tell me. Can a person with little knowledge about it can contribute? Yes. This is the main reason for why we have started the session today. Because if it all will go back to the timeline again, observe. On Jan 23rd, organization applications are opening. It is still not the application for the contributors opening. And on 22 of February, the organizations are announced. So till 22 of February, go find out what is interesting to you. Like with regard to GVP, CW, GDSC sessions, most people are already aware of Android, and most of you are acquainted with cloud. And with regard to your college projects, I'm sure most of us are acquainted with Django, and a few of us got hands-on with Streamlit and everything. So yes, you already know what tech stack interests you and what technologies are you passionate about. So go make your hands dirty with regard to that. If you need any help, just remember that CP team and the entire GDSC team is there. You want special sessions on some technology that you are interested in, just drop a message, send it to some of us, like any of us, like our mail IDs and LinkedIn IDs are provided in here. And you already have our WhatsApp numbers or our mail IDs. So feel free to ask there or put it in a comment to some GDSC post. Our social media team is super active, so someone will look into it. So you have time till 23 to, like till February 2022, 2023 year to actually learn a lot. So after you pick a tech stack, go find out the organizations. Soon they put out what organizations are part of this. Just go grab out the technology stack that they're making use of. And this time, don't just go with passionate organizations. Just go make sure that you use a little bit of your instincts and common sense. Because go find out the company you're interested in. Make sure that you and the company have the compatible tech stack. Later, ensure, because you will invest about 12 to 22 weeks hoping that you are doing good with your 12-week tenure. You have to love the topic that you have to work with. So make sure all these are set and you are good to go. So the team is always ready to help you out. And if at all you need resources, just the resources to be provided, we will provide you the resources required so that you can start preparing. And yes, to your answer, absolutely anybody with less or little knowledge or no knowledge can start today and apply. Any more questions, doubts? This is my first ever session talking. So if at all you have any suggestions on how I could improve on, I'd be happy to take them too. Anyone, anything? At least drop an end so that I'll understand that no more questions. Yes, you will get to fill the application, but not right away because the applications are not open because the organizations itself are not yet been enlisted. So yes, soon you will get the applications open, and once the applications are open, we'll have yet another session on how to fill in your application, because when you are submitting a project proposal, there are quite a few details that they're expecting from you. So there are two ways that a project could be accepted. One, directly via your proposal, like you will be asked on what tech stack you're interested in, like why this particular project, what developments are you hoping to give for us, or stuff like that. So those are basic questions, but your answers should be really amazing to them because you have to be chosen from a crowd. So there, with what I've learned, it is said that 1 in 15,055 people is chosen, and we have about how many attendees for the session today? 28. So I'm really hoping that all 28 of us are there. because there is less amounts of us interested in it. So together we can learn and work. And when the application form opens, we will let you know. And from now on, CP team will be really active. We'll share you each and every detail as it is posted in the official GSOC page, and you can refer to it there too, so that we can all get learning together. And any more questions? If nothing, okay. uh, the praising part towards the end though. Yeah, so yes, for all the juniors and for everybody below 17 years, like for students in the second year, yesterday after I posted my GSOC session, I have met somebody online that introduced me to what is called as Microsoft Engage. I really regret not knowing about it in my second year, but I'll drop this link inside our chat box, and I'll also type what it is. Microsoft Engage. Microsoft Engage 2023 program. So through this program, you second years, you all can directly get an internship with Microsoft. I do not have any idea how this entire thing works, but we have our Microsoft Learner Student Ambassador with us, Prasida. So sure, she'll host a session soon, maybe. But it is just a heads up so that before that actual session comes up, you people can go explore a bit about this. And I don't want any of us to forget that this existed. That's why I thought maybe I'll add in towards the end of the session today. So any more questions, doubts, or juniors, any questions with regard to the Engage program I just said now? Do they assign projects based on your GitHub profile or something? Okay, so project assignment, yes, one important thing that I forgot is during the course of free period that you have before February 2022, get acquainted with GitHub. And project is not based on your GitHub profile. At least I certainly can't assure what project is based on. First things first, your proposal questions. What there is a template that every company would share, like what we are looking for. This particular ones in here it did not share, but there are companies that give you clear cut instructions on what they're expecting. So based on those instructions, you're supposed to make a template in which you'll have questions like why the project you chose, what kind of contributions are you going to make for us, and stuff like that. So all you have to do is give perfect answers for them. It's not like perfect, but give the best answer you could possibly give. And there is a student application template in here. I'm trying to open. Yes. So these are the questions, like your name, school, graduation date, country you live in, all of the easy things. Link to your organization. So this is the particular organization that I've opened is drupal.org. So you'll have a Slack ID. And yes, also get acquainted with Slack community. I use it, but for a different purpose, definitely not GSOC. I'll type them both in here so that none of us will forget. So one is Slack community. It's not like using it only for the GSOC stuff. Start using it because if you're a part of GitHub Student Expert, you'll definitely be aware of Slack community because all of us will start working on Hack Club. So this is something that I'm part of with regard to Slack community. So I joined the Hack Club channel, the community. So from now on, I'll start, interacting with people inside the club and talk. In the very same way, you will have your, you will have stuff too, from which you can work. I'm to open it for now, but yes, you can open it. Yes, start creating your account, learn GitHub, and yes, your GitHub profile is asked, like they ask for your GitHub profile ID. From now on, start contributing. See, to increase your presence in GitHub, you don't have to do much. Go find a project that interests you. Say you're interested in building a face recognition app. So go find a tutorial online and start following GitHub, Slack community. Once you get into Slack community, and I definitely suggest everybody to follow Hack Club page or the community in here because they provide several hackathons for you. This is a space for me to write down my notes. I did not write anything yet, but you get to browse the channels available in the KVS channel that I've joined long time ago, which I do not remember. But try being active on pages and you get to understand what everybody is working on and you get to understand how to work in a community. So it'll be useful. And yes, increase your GitHub presence, and maybe we can soon have a session on GitHub, because when you are getting into GSOC, it is really important to understand how GitHub works, because you have to constantly pull in the code and commit changes, create a new branch, like just the basic stuff. We'll go through it soon. And let me check if at all I forgot anything that is important. We will discuss about the strategies and everything soon. Yes, Prasida, you have shared the right link. And the deadlines, the technologies, yes, short and long term proposals. Like, yeah, make sure your proposal is short and sweet. Uh, Later, yeah, we already spoke. Like from now on, you have abundant amounts of time. Anytime, any doubt, just reach out to the CP team. Will always be there, or reach out to any of the GDSC members from any of the core teams or non-core teams. And together, reaching out some way or the other will come to you with answers to all the questions. I can't assure that your answer will be coming up right away after the instant you have texted or dropped a message. But yes, we will learn. And soon I'm trying for a guest lecture to come on, so that like the guest lecture won't be somebody from our schools or colleges, but somebody who had real-time experience with GSOC. Most likely we'll try to bring somebody with GSOC 2022, so that we can have a better exposure and we can get the real-time insights and experience. So 2 more minutes left. Any more questions, doubts? Don't worry, I won't extend after 8 o'clock. So the sooner we're done with the questions, we can leave. Any questions? Any doubts? Okay, all clear. That is good. And yes, for last time, juniors, please check out Microsoft Engage 2023 program. Anybody below 17 years and is studying in second year, you are eligible. People in third year, you're not. So focus on GSOC. And I am really hoping for most of us to be there. Even I am new to this. All of us are new. Maybe I know a bit more because I started listening to several videos for the past couple of days. So yes, together we will work, and we can work and we can make things happen. So that next time I don't really have to go, stalk everybody on LinkedIn to find a GSOC, guest for us. Next time we'll all be the guests to our own show. Any more questions or anything, or else we can wrap it up? That is good. Harshita is really active. We'll definitely make it happen. Any more questions, doubts, suggestions? Now I'll read what everybody of you had to say with regard to the session. Yes, I'm really happy. Yes, thanks to my CP team, because and yes, one important thing is that next time it won't be just me talking. The entire CP team is ready with all of the stuff to teach you all. Will come up with GitHub sessions, will come up with everything that you need to be ready for GSOC 2023. So yes, and I think the next speaker would be Chandrika from second year, because she is the one that is really excited to be a part of GSOC. Though she is a second year student, I hope she's 18 plus to be a part this year, or else she'll just train us all. Yes, it's 8 o'clock. I assume no more questions and doubts. Drop an N and you can leave if no more questions or doubts. I'll share the PPT and the recording like this. The team will share it soon, so that you can drop us message or text anything. You can contact us via our WhatsApp numbers. If at all you have what our mail IDs are, then you can contact us via mail IDs. But I've only put our LinkedIn URLs, so that, yeah, we're all quite active on LinkedIn, so you can find us there. So our targets for the next couple of months should be getting acquainted with the tech stack. Make sure your GitHub is active. Get acquainted with how to make use of GitHub, and join Slack community. It's not like you have to join for this particular thing, but yes, join, so that you'll find some better important things, what is happening around, you'll get to know it. So I think we're done for today. And yes, for juniors, Microsoft Engage 2023, please do check it out. Yes, Prasida, I think we're done for today. And thanks everybody for listening to me patient enough. And I really appreciate the audience. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dedipya. It was the session you just pulled off in, so it was a complete different experience regarding the way you carried forward the entire session. It was so nice and it was so clear. I think
Thank you.
from now it's not like, yeah, like whatever CP related sessions that we have conducted till now, all of them were blockbuster, and this one also was a super blockbuster. I think every just to note, every 8th of every month we are conducting competitive programming related events, and this is our third event. And like thanks to GSOC, I think our CP team, which is super active, and it's going to come up with more sessions that is going to boost for your GSOC preparation. I think as Dedipya was already telling, sessions related to GitHub, sessions related. So, like, yeah, let us finish off with our exams. Then I think the entire kingdom is ours. So like, yeah, so please stay tuned for everything. Thank you so much, competitive programming team, like you have rocked it. Thanks Soumya, Chandrika, Vaishnavi, and Devika,
Navya,
Navya, Devika, and thanks to Dedipya for the amazing session. Like, it was really nice.
thank you so much. So, yes, any questions, please feel free to ask us soon. We'll reply as soon as possible.
Yeah, superb. And thank you, audience, like for patient hearing, and it was great having you here.
Yes, so we'll end the meeting now. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Yeah. So the recording will be shared soon. You can just check your class group messages. We'll be sending it there.
Thank you, Soumya. So, bye, everyone. Good night. Take care and happy coding.